Alright guys, welcome to Saturday. Just got done checking up on the gaming camera and she's fucking lately freaking raining out here. It was doing that the whole freaking time I was working here in the shop, wasn't paying attention. Looks like the inside of the blazer got wet. There's nothing even on the radar, so this is just like a heavy mist. So just lovely. Fucking, we're not winning again. That's how it's gonna go, I guess. But whatever. So I decided to. I'm not sure how well this is gonna turn out, but I pulled the old sickle cutter thing out of the tractor, and I gave him a quick once over with the grinder. I don't think it's going to really help much, but if they can cut my skin, I think they're plenty freaking sharp then. Some of these have to be older than others, obviously, because it's like this one is shinier than the rest, obviously. Like this looks like it's really old. But they said that some of them, well, some of these have these little teeth on them, and then some of them don't. See, like this older guy here, he doesn't have that. But that's also because these teeth were on the cutter bar as well, so he didn't really need them on the actual cutters themselves. But then later on, they switched it around, so so you no longer could find just the smooth ones, I guess. You had to get the ones with the actual teeth in them. So basically, it's kind of like almost like a double cutter. You know, you're getting for sure good cut. But I noticed I got one it's not this one, but it's the one on the other end. It's slightly loose, so I'm just going to repound the rivet back in there, get it kind of snug again. And then on the big bar, I had one rock guard that was kind of loose, so I had to retighten that, I noticed. So of course, in order to take this off, you pretty much have to take it off the tractor, the whole entire freaking bar, which is, I guess, okay in a way, but in a way I don't like it either. I mean, it is what it is, obviously, but I don't think I'm going to have any of this size, but I looked at that bolt. I don't think I'm going to have one that size, but basically where the bar mounts to the tractor, you have, well, technically 3 bolts, but I think 2 of them just, again, have that plate on top of them, and it keeps this from wanting to bounce. The one I can't get tight because all it does is spin. Well, I looked underneath and it is a square shouldered bolt, or I don't know if I guess they're called carriage bolts or something, but I think that one's plumb wore out because all it does is just sit there and spin. So, but I'm not going to have time to fix that because I need this. Because I still plan on cutting more hay yet for the year's over with, so I need to put this thing back together. If I could put it back together tonight, it would be nice. I don't know, the ground's getting kind of wet now because of this freaking mist, so. And the ground is going to have to dry again before I can sit on it. So. But these do need to be replaced. There's no way around that, but until I find the correct ones and the rivets, so nothing more I can do. So, see, like this is a junked one here, but this should match up. Yeah. So, that's the one that this is another one, but I kept it for measurements. Keep it in the shop. But there is one here besides that, it's kind of loose. I gotta find it now. I think it's way at the end of the bar. Where the hell was it now? One of these has a crack in it. So, it's... yeah, right here. See that little hairline crack there? It's on this sickle right here. It's got a crack in it. So, that's probably a pretty old one to begin with. But that's the one that needs to be replaced for sure. But I mean, they all need to be replaced. But if I only had time to change one out, I'd probably change just that cracked one, just because it's on the verge of cracking anyway. But until we find the correct ones, there's not really much more I can do. So. But I think they're fairly sharp enough. I watched a video online, said that if your cutters are on the bottom side, which they would be in this case, you can sharpen these. How many times you can do it before they are just completely plumb wore out, I don't know. But he says it doesn't take much. And he says you have to be extremely careful too, because if you happen to sit in one spot for too long, you'll actually overheat the cutter and then it'll turn blue. So I think that means that you've weakened that spot of the metal then. But he says all you would have to do is grind away that blue spot and then you'd be fine. But it's just that little section, I guess, that would be weakened. And then it would probably crack if you happen to hit something or too much vibration or whatever, right? It would crack. So, but I don't see any blue going on here. And I wasn't like forcing the grinder to work. It was just basically just letting the weight of the grinder sit on it. That's really it. I wasn't forcing it, because you don't need to. There's not much material here that you have to remove. So, but how well this will work, I don't know. But they feel okay. Like even this junky one, one that's cracked, it feels okay. I think these are actually sharper than I get my lawnmower blades, because you don't need these things don't need to be ridiculously sharp to cut. I don't know, maybe these do, but I know my mower blades don't need to be ridiculously sharp to cut. So you basically just have to shine it up really nice and then give it just a soft bend, where it actually cuts. But I think my blades need to be sharpened again. I think they're starting to not cut very well. But I mean, it's getting to the end of the year now, where I don't know if it's even worth. I mean, you don't be cutting for like another month or month and a half, and then you'd be pretty much done. So I don't know if it's even worth. It's just not really worth it. So I only sharpen my blades once a year. I guess the best thing would be to maybe have a second set floating around, so you can just swap them out real quick and be done. But then you still got to take the deck off. I got to find a better way of doing that. But for now, you got to take the mower deck completely off in order to change the blades and sharpen them, or take them off and sharpen them. So if you gotta go that far, you might as well just sharpen them and put them back on. So, but it's a bitch to take them off. So, but yeah, they do need to be replaced. So, but who knows when that'll be. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be anytime soon. If I can find sickles that'll fit this, I probably will. I don't know when it'll be, because it's not going to be in the wintertime, obviously. If it doesn't get done this year, then it'll probably get done next year in the springtime, while I'm waiting for grass to grow and whatever. I don't know how many cutters are on here, but the ones I'm looking at right now, it's only a 10 pack. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 apparently right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 20 on here. So I would need 20 to change, just to basically rebuild this bar. Then I'd be fine. So, but like I said, I don't know how good this is going to work because I don't plan on cutting any hay for a little bit yet because I still got tons underneath the bridge yet. I think that's where I made my mistake when I cut all that hay underneath the bridge. Is I cut too much of it because by the time I get to the end, all that hay is just going to be super dried out, and I don't know if the cows are going to eat it. They're still eating it, but I'm giving them the stuff that's probably a little fresher, I suppose. I don't know, maybe I should go back and forth a little bit or something. I don't know, but I cut too much. I think that's the problem. I just cut too much. I really should have just cut 2 sections and then waited a week. Because I cut that underneath the bridge, a week ago now? Maybe even, I don't know, week and a half ago or something like that now. And there's still tons of hay yet to go. So, it's too much, I guess. So, lesson learned for next year, I guess. Just cut 2 sections at a time. Cut the trail and then feed that off. Cut the next to the property. And then maybe 1 section. And then just keep going from there. Just 1 or 2 sections at a time instead of all of them. So, but I don't know. So, but yeah, I don't like this one here. That's the fact that it's cracked, but there's not much I can do about that. I just got to let it go for now. I'm not gonna try to weld that or nothing because there's no sense. So if it cracks off, it cracks off. Ain't nothing I can really do about it. We'll be done then because I don't have any. I mean, I could put on another used one. It'd be fine, but I don't have any rivets. I can't find. I'm really starting to wonder how my grandpa did this because he's got a shit ton of these bars. I mean, there's this one that was in the tractor or in the cutter. There's like 3 more on the tractor, but they're just completely wore out. I don't know what they're even doing on the tractor because they're just plumb wore out. So, and then there's, I think, 1 or 2 more in the shed where the tractor used to be in. And then there's another 1 or 2 where the lawnmower's at, in that shed. So he's got a lot of these bars floating around. So my theory is throughout haying season, when these would get wore down, then he would just slap in a whole new complete unit and then go back to the cutting. I don't know if he changed these out himself or if he took these to like International or if he had a guy do this. I don't know if he did this himself. I don't know. He's got the tools there to do it, so I would think that he did it, but I don't know why you would need so bloody damn many of these bars, but I understand too that, this is something you would do in the off season, obviously, would be to rebuild bars, and you'd be fine. So, because yeah, it would be faster to just swap out a bar than would be to try to replace a sickle in the field. You could do this in the field real easy and you'd be done. It'd probably be like a 5-10 minute job, I guess, depending on how good you are at it. So, you probably could have taken it off, I suppose, without removing the whole thing from the tractor, but I don't know. So, I kind of tried that, and it was fighting me a little bit, so I just gave up and just decided to remove it. So, and then, he's got another hole. It's got, I think, 2 more, like, the actual mounting bars that these sit in. He's got 2 more of those actually in that building. So he must have been kind of somewhat either scared, or maybe he just knew that these things like to beat themselves to piss, and everything was cracking all the time. So he just, because he did break one of these. These where the ball is attached. You can't see it, it's behind the wood, but the ball's back there. Your pitman arm would mount to that. He's broken that whole thing, because there's one laying in that garage, snapped in half. So obviously he did break these with time, but. And then for the pitman arm, I don't know. He's got another one in that big toolbox that's full of cutter parts, but no freaking sickles. I found one used one, which is good for taking measurements without having to actually remove one. But I guess the only other thing I could do too is like just kind of go to like John Deere or even Case IH and whatever, and see if they can match something up to that. They would probably be able to do a lot better than me, but Agra King, I think it's the company I'm looking at that sells some of them, but those are 2 1/16 center of hole to center of hole. So, and when I measure it, it's just under 2 1/8. Whatever that is under that. I forgot to look that up again. But if those are correct, they would fit on here then. But they're only a 10 pack, so I would need 2 of those. So that's probably like $60 right there, because each package is $29.99. So there's $60 plus who knows what for shipping. And then whatever the hell else, right? So, but that's really my only other option too, would be to just take that used one in to, I guess when I was to start with John Deere, see if they can match anything to that. And then if they don't have nothing, well then go to Case IH and see if they have something. And if not, well then I guess we're kind of out of luck. So, other than that, I don't know. That's just the way it's going to be, but that's what's going on. So, I want to try to fix that one tooth. I forgot about that. I'm going to see if I can pound that rivet back tight again, so we don't have a tooth sitting there slopping around. So, but I don't know if that's going to do anything or not. I mean, the one positive thing that it did is it did remove all the rust. So maybe there'll be less like friction there, you know, and like instead of just trying to chew the grass off, maybe it'll actually be able to cut it a little nicer. Even if it takes a little bit of wear and tear off the tractor, it's better than nothing. It's better than beating it all the freaking piss, but not much you can do there. So, but that's what I did for now. I just sharpened them with the grinder. It's not perfect by any means. I don't think this is really a ideal thing to do, but they say that if your cutters are underneath, then you can do that. But if they're on top, because some sickles are that way too, if they're on top, you can't do that because they are designed, I guess, to self-sharpen if they're on top. So these are not. These wear down, and once they wear down, they're pretty much done. So, but if we can finish the season off of them, that's fine. Maybe we'll try to rebuild the bar next year then, if we can get some sickles here and find the correct ones. And then we'll be good. So, but anyways, guys, I'm going to go. I'm going to see if I can fix that last sickle And then I'll throw this thing back in the back of the Blazer, and then I'll go back later and put it back on. Sun's poking out right now, so I kind of want it to dry the ground out a little bit. So, plus I got one more thing I want to do here before I go back. So I just wanted to go there quick and get this. See if I could sharpen it. So it does feel nice though. So of course. That's the stinking scanner going off. You can hear it really well because the back tailgate's open. So just shut that for now. So yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to show you guys that. I'm just going to try to see if I can pound that. Make that sickle tighter. And then we'll put it back on there tonight, because I probably won't be cutting hay for another couple of weeks, but I just want things to be done. So too much other stuff going on right now to really care about this too much. I just got to get other stuff done. I got to get this done. So I got to try to order a couple of parts for this thing yet. I still have like 3. If I order 2 now, I should really only need 1 more, and then I can start doing that. Get those new belts and tensioners and stuff put on that, and that'll be done for the winter. Because then over winter, I got to start saving the money to possibly get new tires for the Blazer. So, but whatever, it's what it is. So, alright guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess I have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. Take her easy.